This is the AMIR watch stand bamboo wood USB charging station slash desk stand charger. I got this as a promotion so that I could review it, so I did not purchase this item, but if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be making a video about it. So let's check it out. What I can tell you about this for sure, well, I shouldn't say for sure, but what I can tell you about this is if you're me and you lend it to the wrong person, they're not going to want to give it back. So I had to borrow this from my girlfriend so that I can finish making the video because she does like to have this on the nightstand. So that works for her. Now, I don't have an Apple Watch or any sort of smartwatch. If I did, I'd probably hang it up right here to charge it at night. But if you don't, you just pull this little magnet off and it's pretty sturdy. I mean, that thing stays on. You know, pretty strong, and really the construction of this whole thing is very solid. So I don't have any concerns about it falling on the floor and breaking. I have a feeling that she's going to knock her phone off the table like she usually does, even though it's sitting on here, but hopefully that'll help a bit. Now here's the cool part. If we take a look at the back, you can see I've got my electricity is plugged in here, 110 volt standard out of the wall. It's just one of these kind of generic looking charging cords that go into the back. But what I hadn't noticed earlier is that this has 5 volts, 3 amps on 3 different outputs. Now, of course, being the skeptic that I am, I wanted to see if that's really going to be the case, because a lot of chargers and charging cables claim to be capable of things that they aren't really. So what I did is I took, and by the way, with these 3 USB ports on the back, what I ended up doing is I plugged in USB-C over here, and I plugged in a lightning cable here, and I plugged in a micro USB over here, and you've got all 3 charging capabilities right there at one time. And theoretically, with enough power to rapid charge a tablet. So what I wanted to do is verify that that is indeed what's happening. So I made another video a while back for this. This is an AMIR, and it will tell you what kind of power is getting from your charger to your device. So if you want to see more details on how that works, be sure to check out that video. I'll put a link up there so you can click on that if you want to check it out. But what this is going to do is when I plug it into the back of this USB power supply, it will show me that I'm currently getting a 5 volt output. Now, to find out if we get the full 1.8 or 1.9, or really, you know, basically what they call 2.0 amps of charging, I'm going to take this iPad mini and I'm going to plug the power from this cord. And by the way, you'll notice all of my cords are generally 5, 6, or 10 feet long. I don't really get very far with a 3-foot cord, so I do like to have these, you know, unless you're in the car, that's about the only time you really need such a short cord. But when we plug this in, and you'll see momentarily that this is going to start charging, we connect this on here, and we will see that that actually does go up to about 1.76. So for all practical purposes, that is a 2 amp which is the maximum that we're going to get onto an iPad mini. So that's great. We're actually going to get a rapid charge here. Now, more importantly is, will I get that same reading from all 3 of these outputs? So you'll see as I move this over, I'm going to put it in the center one here. And again, we have 1.82-ish at the moment. And if we move it all the way over here to the furthest one, once again, we will have still that 2 amps of power coming out to current rather to charge the tablet, which is awesome because then you don't have to wait, you know, twice or 3 or 4 times as long to charge your device. Now, my next question was, what happens if I take another tablet here and I plug it into one of those other outputs? Is that going to affect the amount of current that's coming through here to this one? And we would like to think that it would not, but again, I always like to test this stuff to verify before I recommend any product to anyone and make sure that it actually does what it's supposed to. So as I plug this into this cheap little Kindle device that I have here, and you can see that it is charging at the moment, that is not going to affect the current that is coming out to the iPad mini. And if I take my lightning cable, which I think I'm going to have to grab another one because I thought I had one handy, but I don't. Tell you what, how about if I take another micro USB, because I happen to have my Galaxy S6 standing by over here. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and then we should see that that will not affect the current that's coming from this coming from that USB. So you basically, it looks like you can get 2 amps of charging power from all 3 of these simultaneously, which is awesome because if you needed to charge, let's say you have 3 iPads that you want to charge up, or you have a Galaxy tablet and an iPad and a phone, you can plug all 3 of those in and you'll still be able to get that rapid charging power, which is awesome. You set one of these on your desk and like I mentioned earlier, you get your USB-C, your micro USB and your lightning cable, and you are pretty well covered for just about any device that more than likely anyone's going to come and need to charge at some point. Now, the question here to me, I'm going to get some of this stuff out of the way real quick. My question was this: if you've got this sitting on the desk and you see there's kind of a little hole down here, so this is going to sit this way, and I could, if I didn't have a kickstand on this tablet, I could probably actually set my tablet right there also, so that works out well. But what's the deal with this hole on the center there? Well, I'm assuming the idea is that if you have something that's going to be stationary for the most part, you can just feed the cable through here. You could bundle it up down underneath. Let's see if that's actually going to fit. Yeah. So you can feed the cable under the bottom, kind of bundle up as much of the excess that you don't need. Of course, in the case of my 10-foot cable, that's probably not going to work, but we can take this and we can feed it through like so, get the rest of this underneath. And in fact, they actually have another little slot that you can come out of here on the side. So I can have this kind of just sitting on the table like that, so we have a nice even surface if I can get it into that little slotted area there. And then when you set this thing up, let's see, I think I'm upside down. So when you set this thing down, you just take your cable and plug it in, and there you go. So this, as far as functionality, it works really well. You can see they've got some spots here. I don't know what you would put there, maybe a business card on the back, possibly a couple pins. Let's see if my good pin's gonna fit here. Yeah, even my good pin sort of fits. It'd be nice if that was a little deeper. I mean, it does stand up, but it's not really stable, so you might need something. Maybe if I take the other end here, no, that's not going to work. So you could put a couple pins here. Again, I would imagine a business card or something. I don't know what goes in here. Maybe some small pieces. In fact, I know exactly what's going to fit in here perfectly for me. That's going to be my adapter that I use for my new laptop, because of course every time someone releases a laptop they have a different type of charger. So if you want to put something like that, or maybe a lightning to micro USB or vice versa adapter, that would sit in there nicely and hopefully not get lost, fall off the edge of the bed. If you found the video helpful, like it, share it, check out my channel for more tutorials and product reviews, and most of all, remember to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments section, and thanks for watching.